But let's get to arguably the most interesting game from a NFL storyline on the week. Got the Pittsburgh Steelers, the only undefeated team left in the NFL, versus the Baltimore Ravens. This is going to be a really good showdown. The Ratbirds, as the Steelers fans like to call them, have been very much a thorn in the side for the Steelers for the entirety of Big Ben's career. This could be another game where they end up sticking it to them. It could be a very, very, very fun game. If the Steelers win this one, man, there's going to be a party in Pittsburgh. So we've got a 46.5 point over-under, expecting this to be a lower scoring game in Vegas. Ravens favored to win this one by 3.5 points, giving us an implied point total of about 25 to 21. Steelers defense has been absolutely lights out against running backs. Even though they have allowed a couple of big runs, for the most part, they've been absolutely killing it against running backs and quarterbacks as well, giving up only the 27th most points to quarterbacks. They have been beatable in terms of allowing points to the receivers, which is still a bit surprising the way that the points turn out. Give up a lot of yardage to receivers, but haven't been allowing a lot of points on defense, whereas the Ravens have been pretty good all around, at least in terms of slowing down running backs and receivers. Where they have been beatable has been through the tight ends, but that's not really the Steelers' strong suit here. So the real question is, do you expect this to be a lower scoring game as Vegas does, or will this turn into more of a shootout? I think both are definitely within the realm of possibilities. I'm trying to take more of a middle ground approach because I do think that there should be some hesitancy to start everybody here, but a lot of these guys have been doing so good for you. You probably don't have better options anyway. So even in a tougher matchup, you always feel stupid whenever you bench a really good guy just because they had a tough matchup. And then when they go off on your bench, you don't forgive yourself and you have yourself a really bad weekend. We don't want to recommend that. So in terms of the Steelers, we're going to play James Conner in this one. He's been an every week starter as long as he's been healthy. He's healthy. We're going to play him. Now, Diontae Johnson, you got to continue monitoring. He did miss practice today, but it's Wednesday, so Wednesday reports, typically you see these kind of guys take a break. So not too worried about Deontay Johnson. If he plays, he's a must start. Juju Smith-Schuster, definitely more involved with Diontae Johnson coming back. I think really what we're seeing here is Juju is more involved in the games where the Steelers have to throw the ball a lot more. They were pretty dominant over the past couple weeks prior to playing the Titans, which they didn't need to throw the ball nearly as much, and those are the games that you didn't see Juju as involved. So I think as long as the game is anticipated to be competitive and close, I think Juju would be a good start. Not a great start, but definitely still a top 30 option there for you. Now, Ben Roethlisberger, hopefully you can find someone as a better start here. I do think the Ravens defense is imposing enough that I wouldn't be comfortable starting Roethlisberger in this one. He hasn't really been that great for fantasy, even though the Steelers' offense has been good. He's basically just been average across the board. Probably can find someone with more upside this week. Now, Chase Claypool is the interesting name here. At this point, we've seen pretty much a even touch share, or not an even touch share. What we've seen happen is a complete drop-off. So when Deontay Johnson is on the field, he's running the routes, he's getting the targets, and as soon as he comes off the field, Chase Claypool basically takes over his spot 1-for-1. So if Deontay Johnson is playing, I'm pretty much hands off Chase Claypool for the most part. If Deontay Johnson goes out and he doesn't play this week, then that immediately switches over and I'm totally comfortable playing Claypool. But as long as we continue to see Johnson basically keeping Claypool on the sidelines or not involved in the game, it's going to be really hard to trust Claypool on a weekly basis. Eric Ebron, as we mentioned, the Ravens are beatable through the tight end. Probably not the best option, but you could definitely talk me into it just based on where your current needs are. Probably going to finish about tight end 15 in my rankings by the time this week is said and done. Not going to play the Steelers defense because I do think the Ravens will be pretty competitive on offense in this one. Lamar Jackson, you're going to be playing him even in a tougher matchup here. Now, the real question is, does Mark Ingram sit? I think he does. I think the Ravens medical staff has been BSing us. I think Mark Ingram is going to be out for multiple weeks, and I think this is going to end up being the Dobbins and the Gus Edwards show. So based on the last time we saw the Ravens play, when Mark Ingram was hurt and left the game, the usage that we saw was Gus Edwards would see like the majority of the carries, like 60-40, whereas J.K. Dobbins is more involved in the passing game. Now, we noted that the Steelers are really good at slowing down the run, which means even if Gus Edwards is seeing more of the carries, I'm still more excited to start J.K. Dobbins because of his explosive upside, especially in the passing game. I could see this being a situation where J.K. Dobbins sees less touches than Gus Edwards, but I think he's the better fantasy play based on the matchup this week. If Mark Ingram is out, I'm comfortable starting Dobbins. I'll start Edwards if I need to, but it's not a great start. And in terms of who are starting in the receivers, I think Marquise Brown is a pretty much every week start. It's going to be boom bust. You're going to have some annoying weeks there with him, but he gives you too much upside to bench him. Mark Andrews is the exact same thing. At this point, he's pretty much scored above 20 points or below 5 every single week, and that may continue, but I think this should be a good week for him. And I think he can play the Ravens defense in this one. I do expect them to actually be able to slow the Steelers offense down a little bit. Ravens defense has been one of the better ones for fantasy up to this point, so it's hard to bench them, but you might have a better option there. Check my rankings if you have another defensive option there to see where I have them ranked. Not starting any of the other options here. I think the Ravens win this one. I've got them winning 27-20. I think it would be a fun game to watch, but I think the Ravens will continue to be that thorn in Big Ben's side heading into this week.